Hey there, voters. I'm Captain Stacey Hanrahan, and welcome to Wednesday's episode of Voters TV. First up, our Captain's Caption photo was provided by Martin Gutting. We'll reveal the caption of the day at the end of the show. Coming up in Just for the Hall of It, take a duck ride in this week's Mad Mariner Report. In cities around the world, tourists are being driven through the streets and cruising through waterways, all in one strange-looking vehicle. They're called duck boats, and Mad Mariner's Bridget Schulte discovered why they seem to be the hottest thing going in tourism. Duck boats are vintage amphibious military vehicles that are being used to entertain tourists in cities from Boston to Singapore. If you've ever taken a duck tour, then you know how corny and fun they can be. Drivers and tour guides narrate local history, crack jokes, and often take on special personas. Okay, confession time. I once worked as a Miami Duck Tours guide. My name was Duck07, that's Pond, Chain Pond, and I wore a Laura Croft type outfit. And no, there are no pictures, but what a great job. Spent the day with happy vacationers, driving through the streets of South Beach, then splashing into Biscayne Bay, all the time yelling quack, quack, quack to confuse pedestrians. But the history of these duck boats is just as interesting as the history you learn riding in one. They were built out of the need for an easier way to get troops and equipment ashore during World War II. Engineers made the first duck boats by adding a boat hull, rudder, and propeller to the Army's standard 2.5-ton truck manufactured by General Motors. The vehicle they came up with had the ability to drive over sandbars and ride the waves. They could drive right up on the beaches and then farther inland to offload troops and supplies before delivering wounded soldiers back to waiting ships offshore. In later wars, as duck boats were replaced with helicopters, these amphibious vehicles made their way into civilian hands. Today, some duck tour companies use the original ducks, and some have built their own replicas. To read a much more detailed history of these vehicles, including the story of the first time they were used for tours in the dells of Wisconsin, go to www.madmariner.com. Now in smooth sailing, you can help the environment by drinking wine. Everybody's looking for ways to go green. You can't turn on the television today without seeing a program or commercial telling you how to do your part to help the environment. We're told to eat organic foods, buy hybrid cars, and of course to recycle. I've got some advice. Drink green wine. What's green wine? It's wine that's been transported in an environmentally friendly way. The French company, I'll spare you my terrible French pronunciation by using their acronym, CTMV, is transporting wine the old-fashioned way, using merchant sailing ships. By using sail power at least 75% of the time and biofuel when they must motor, CTMV is delivering goods in a clean and socially responsible way. The company chartered a 3-masted bark, the Bellum, for its first delivery of 100 different wines from 60 different wineries last summer. They sailed from Bordeaux to Dublin in just 5 days. CTMV is currently building 6 148-foot sailing ships that have been specially designed to transport wine. Once built, the ships will sail wine and other goods to Russia, Canada, and countries throughout Europe. As an added bonus, winemakers and enthusiasts claim that all that sloshing around actually makes the wine taste better. Well, I'll have to taste the wine for myself to be sure, so sail some of those bottles over here to the States. The bottles will begin appearing on shelves throughout Europe this fall and will carry a Sail Wine logo and an EcoCert certificate. To learn more about this green wine, go to www.ctmv.eu. Next up in Off the Hook, the healing power of fly fishing. We're all familiar with Susan G. Komen for the Cure and the amazing support the organization has provided breast cancer survivors. And while there are many, many great organizations dedicated to breast cancer, I recently came across one I found to be very unique. Casting for Recovery is a non-profit program that offers support and healing through the sport of fly fishing. Since 1996, they have been providing free weekend retreats to women who have or have had breast cancer. After having breast cancer, women may lose shoulder strength and function. Fly fishing provides gentle exercise that can improve joint and soft tissue mobility. At a Casting for Recovery retreat, participants not only learn the basics of fly casting in a relaxed setting, but they also have access to counseling and medical information. More than 3,000 breast cancer survivors have already benefited from the fly fishing retreats, with 37 new events scheduled for this year. And although Casting for Recovery was started in the United States, weekend retreats are also held in Canada, the UK, and Ireland. Fly fishing may not cure breast cancer, but I imagine that the hope gained from learning a new skill and the friendships made with those who understand can go a long way in healing a broken spirit. To help support this organization or to simply learn more, go to www.castingforrecovery.org. Now it's time to reveal Stacey's TheBoaters.com Sealebrity Profile Pick of the Day, which is Captain P.J. Gibson and his 45-foot privilege on Waiva. PJ runs a charter boat operation in Ocho Rios, Jamaica. He grew up sailing with his dad and has passed the tradition on. PJ loves fishing, has raced sailboats, and even owned a dive shop. Welcome to the Boaters and congrats on your Sealebrity status. And finally today, the captain's caption of the day is, "The plug? Oh, I left that back at the dock." Submitted by Dennis Sanderson. And that'll do it for this episode of The Boaters TV. See you back here on Friday.